What's up, guys? BC coming back at you guys with my sister for another installment of Transformers from a Casual's Perspective. Now, as I said, this is my sister. Feel free to say hello.
Hello.
And today she is going to be giving her entirely unbiased opinion towards the fan base that I am very much a part of. So, first things first, to ask the question. Do you recognize these characters in any way, shape, or form?
I recognize them from Beast Wars. We watched them when we were kids, but that's about it.
Do you remember their names?
Prime, maybe?
Yes.
Was it 8? Not sure what the Raptor is.
Dinobot.
Dinobot?
Yes. We apologize ahead of time. There's kids in the background. So, first things first, based on looking at them just dead on, would you say that these are basically perfect renditions of the characters you remember from the show?
I remember the 8 being pretty much spot on. It's been a long time since I've seen the show though, but the Raptor, even though it's pretty cool looking, I do not remember it being that cool or detailed looking in the cartoon. But again, I was super young, so it's been a long time.
It's been a while. I actually went back and rewatched a whole bunch of the clips from the show to.
But Primal looks pretty accurate.
Yeah, I actually went back and I rewatched a whole bunch of the stuff from the show before to kind of gauge how well these were done, and I would say that both are basically, other than the obvious robot kibble, because these do transform. They do have the robot moves. I'm just not going to do it here for the sake of time. But they are basically almost 100% accurate representations of the characters we have seen on the show.
Okay.
Now, again, 100% unbiased opinion. I'm going to show you another character. He's from the same general era, but he was not in the show we grew up watching. Here he is. Now, again, based upon just what you're seeing here, do you recognize who this character is at least supposed to represent based on looking at him from afar?
I would say that is definitely Optimus Prime, but he is a mammoth, so maybe he's part of the Ice Age stages. That's
You are actually,
about all the info I could give though.
believe it or not, you're actually not far off.
Okay.
Because he does turn into a mammoth. I'm pretty sure the tusks are what gave it away.
Yeah.
He
And there's
is
green eyes right there too, so that kind of gives it away.
Yeah, and the character, his name is actually Big Convoy. He's from the Japanese, one of the Japanese continuations of Beast Wars, where he is actually the third Maximal Commander, where around this time they introduced a Beast Wars character that carries a Matrix.
Okay.
Neat little gimmick. That, again, this is one of those toys where the way it transforms, he basically explodes. So I'm just going to go ahead and move that to the side. Now, for direct comparisons of different forms they've taken throughout the ages. This, again, 100% unbiased opinion. Here is the masterpiece movie Bumblebee. And for those who know me or know how I roll, here is MPG-1B. One meant to be cute and cuddly, the other meant to, well, I have very many jokes, but we have children here, so I'm not going to tell them. So just looking at these two from an 100% unbiased opinion, who do you feel looks better? I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but I will subside.
Well, I think that the one on the left looks a lot better just because it's more modern and with the times, whereas the one on the right side is more of a rendition of the older version of the character.
Which is 100% correct.
So I think if we're going based on style aesthetics alone, the left left-hand side one looks good. But I guess it just depends on how big of a fan you are and how much you love this character versus new and old.
It's funny because, in my own very unbiased opinion, as much as that term may carry with me, since I am a part of the fan base, I like the G1 more because, to be fair, the movie one, he's been around for so long, and just there are so many characters that deserved so much screen time that he took from them that just that's a whole other rant I could get into on another date. But as it stands, I like the G1 better. But that's not meant to kind of, what's the proper term I'm using? Not to bash on what you're saying. You like that's how you feel, and that's ultimately what I'm trying to get at here. Now, for those who know me, knows I am going to want to throttle this thing. So here is MP Movie Ironhide with the G1 rendition of Iron. Again, these are both quote-unquote masterpiece scale figures. So, same idea. Well, okay, let me get them in shot. Okay, so there they are in shot.
Well, I would say the same as the last one.
Like, there's no changing.
No, the one on the right is definitely an older model, and you can tell that it's older, so it doesn't have as many intricate details as the one on the left-hand side does. Like, the way I look at a Transformer is if I could tell what kind of vehicle it is before it transforms into the vehicle, like the right-hand side one, it kind of loses its surprise and wow factor to me. If I can tell what it is before it transforms.
Well, what would you? Just looking at the one on the right now to kind of see how on point you are with it. What do you think the one on the right turns into?
A red fire truck, maybe?
He turns into a van.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there is a red fire truck in the G1 era, but it definitely was not Ironhide. I'm going to say here, once again, entirely unbiased opinion, I like this one more. But the reason why is because I can actually transform this one. This one, I want to beat my head in with a hammer every single time I try to pose it. It annoys me that much. I just know. Now for the big boy. I am slightly surprised that I didn't get an immediate reaction from you as soon as I pulled it out of the bag. But here is... He has a sword too, but I'm not going to bother trying to get that out right now. Let's go ahead and get this up here. Now, just based on looking at this, can you tell what era this comes from?
Oh.
Not drinking water.
Not even close, not even gonna try.
New Neutrogena Bright Boost kickstarts dull, tired
Oh.
skin with neoglucosamine, a gentle, non-acid amino.
But do you think he looks
Works within the
cool?
surface and boosts cell
I mean,
turnover
yeah, he's
by 10
cool
times.
looking.
For brighter,
If you
wide-awake
like
skin. Bright
toys.
Boost. Pair with illuminated serum for 3 times the brightening power.
Okay, in being serious. Hi!
I mean, being serious, there's a lot of... it's huge, by the way.
There's a reason why it's huge, but I will tell you why in a minute.
It looks simpler to transform compared to the new ones, just because you can pretty much see all the parts to it already. But I mean, yeah, the detail's cool.
Well, believe it or not, I would do it here to show you because it's actually really cool how it all works. This is actually 2 full robots connected together.
Okay, I could see that. I see 2 sets of feet at the bottom.
What she's talking about is the super booties right there. And it's okay. So basically, what the 2 super booties, the giant gun, the shoulder cannons, and the jetpack. I almost whacked in the camera. All that is just bits of another robot that pop apart and latch onto this figure.
So it's kind of like in that Sam Witwicky movie when they got that old grumpy Transformer and he gave Optimus Prime his thing.
Technically speaking, that was more of an upgrade form, whereas these two would be more on the lines of a combiner. Because technically speaking, the way it works in the movie is when Jetfire was able to connect to Optimus, it was because he sacrificed his life, and then they kind of made it happen, and whereas here, they're both 2 living organisms. Wow, Josh, 2 living robots, 2 separate entities coming together to form one cohesive being, and then are able to split apart and go their separate ways when the time comes. That's the difference between an upgrade / fusion and a combiner. But yeah, you would, like, again, but just straight up looking dead on at it, would you be able to tell that that it was a combiner?
No.
Now here's the thing that's gonna pick your brain a little bit more. Looking at this design, if you were to bring this into the modern age, what would you do to change it?
Well, honestly, I would put numbers on each one of the parts for what gets transformed first, because I'm confused. I wouldn't even know where to start.
So with that said, I think that basically brings what I wanted to ask to a close. Do you have any questions for me as far as anything you saw?
How much did it set you back?
Except for that.
Oh, well, then no.
Okay, to be fair though, the Star Saber, I've had him for a long time. I still love that toy to this day. The upgrade parts I got for him, he was like 111. That's because he's a big, heavy, chunky. Like, if you were to actually pick this up, you can tell that this is like $100 to $200 toy. It's built to be big and hefty and heavy. So, with that said, thank you very much. Wow, it's late. I am sorry. Thank you so much for your time. We have a bunch of little munchkins that are asking for our time, and we are going to get on out of here. If you have any closing thoughts?
No, I'm good.
Alright, well, with that said, guys, this is BC saying stay there and get your geek on. I will catch you guys next time.